Hey there guys, Nordic Warrior here. Welcome back to my Hitman review series. So, I just got done playing Hitman 3, which just came out recently. For those of you who haven't been following my channel, a couple of years back, reviewed the entire previous generation Hitman series. It's a series that's a personal favourite of mine. Blood Money, in my personal opinion, being the best game in the entire series. That game is a masterpiece, a true timeless classic. Don't get me wrong though, I enjoy all the Hitman games and rate them all very highly, but Blood Money to me is my personal favourite of the series, and in my opinion that's where the Hitman series peaked. It's actually one of my favourite video games of all time. As for the newer generation of Hitman games, the one that came out in 2016, that game pissed me off. And the reason why is because that was a game that was released in episodic format, meaning you had to download each level individually and separately. And to me, that to me sums up absolutely everything that is wrong with modern day gaming. Just an absolute joke. The game itself was excellent. I didn't mind the game at all, but the episodic format to me completely ruined the whole experience. Thankfully though, they did later release a Steelbook edition for the game, which I do own, which contains the entire game as a package. But even still, you had to install each level individually, and it just annoyed me. It was just a little bit of a sour experience, in my opinion. Hitman 2, which was a direct sequel to that game, was a big improvement on that game in almost every way. I mean, great level design, great presentation, and thankfully not released in episodic format. So let's talk about Hitman 3, the latest game in the Hitman series to be released. Did this game live up to the hype? And was it as good or better than the previous games in the Hitman series? So let's talk about it. So I bought the game on its release day, which is very rare for me nowadays, because usually nowadays I tend to wait for games to go down in price or buy them pre-owned, because I have a few problems, a few issues with the state of modern day gaming. This is stuff that I've ranted about at length in the past. But being a long-time fan of the Hitman series, I really felt the urge to play this one early, particularly since it's rumoured to be the last game in the entire Hitman series, at least for a while. Been playing the game non-stop over the past couple of days. Again, I got it on its release, and I've basically been playing it all day, all night over the past 2 days or so, and it's fair to say that I'm somewhat addicted. The game has that traditional sandbox style of gameplay. Levels are absolutely huge this time and have a variety of interesting and unique locations within them. The game is filled with targets and numerous different tactics and strategies that can be used to take them out. With it being a Hitman game, of course, it encourages exploration, experimentation, and lots of trial and error in order to figure out each level and execute strategies, and even come up with some strategies and tactics of your own. And that's one of the things that I've always loved about the Hitman series, is they're video games that really make you think and really make you ponder what to do and explore and really just try new things and get a feel for each level individually. Whether you want to be clean, efficient, subtle assassin with planning, patience, and preparation, or you want to be a mass murderer who goes all guns blazing at the risk of lowering your score, the game gives you the element of choice, and that's one of the things that has always appealed to me about the Hitman series. Very, very intellectually stimulating gameplay. The game pretty much follows the same formula as the previous 2 games in the series, with very little changes, and the game's feel and design is all pretty much the same. You play each level in a certain way, and the game rewards you for your exploration and experimentation by giving you new starting locations, agency support as a reward for trying new things and executing new targets in various ways. You can also unlock various new agency gadgets and perks, such as fancy lockpicks or distraction mines and stuff like that. All sorts of different items that you'll earn seemingly at random by playing the game and completing various challenges. This all adds an incentive to try all the levels in different ways and seriously increases the game's replay value. So overall, the game is really good. It has that classic Hitman feel, and I appreciate the nostalgia as well as the sandbox and non-linear style gameplay that the Hitman series was always known for. Unfortunately though, the game is far from perfect. It has several minor issues that really bugged me. For example, the game has several technical difficulties, and bear in mind, as I record this, the game has only been out for about 2 days. Yeah, I've been playing it non-stop since then, and I've been playing it day and night, but I digress. The point is, I expect there to be several patches and several updates to fix these issues, so I don't expect it will be a problem for very long. One issue I had was the game kept freezing. It happened on a few occasions for no apparent reason. The AI also, while fantastic most of the time, it can be a little bit buggy. For example, say getting spotted through doors and walls and stuff like that shouldn't really happen but does on occasion. Also, one of the things that happened to me a few times that really annoyed me was when I reach an exit point. Sometimes the exit point refused to trigger even when I'd unlocked it. So I would have to then travel and make my way all the way across the level to find another exit point, and that was just really annoying. It kind of bugged me when I was playing the game. It happened on a few occasions, actually. I'm expecting that to get fixed by the developers at some point. So yeah, the exit points are a bit buggy as of now in my experience. There are just some minor technical issues with the game. Again, I don't expect them to be unchecked for very long, so it's not really that big an issue. It's just something I thought I'd bring up. Another issue I had with the game, and this is probably the biggest issue I had with the game, is the story. Most notably the ending. Probably one of the most, if not the most, anticlimactic endings I have ever seen in a AAA title video game. I mean, just such a lame ending that builds to a confrontation that never really happens. That also seems to really indicate that the game was somewhat rushed towards the end in terms of its writing. I mean, it seems to be riddled with cliches also. I mean, you look at some of the endings of some of the older Hitman games. Remember Blood Money's ending and how badass that was. Remember Hitman 2 Silent Assassin's ending and how satisfying that ending was. Even Hitman Contracts, even Hitman Absolution had a pretty badass and pretty satisfying ending. They all had fantastic endings, and this game's ending wasn't satisfying at all. Certainly not by comparison. I mean, this game's ending, it felt like DLC bait or something. Overall, I really like the game, and I would definitely recommend the game to you if you're a fan of stealth games, or if you're a fan of the Hitman series. The game looks great for the most part, although Hitman's character model in some of the cutscenes looks a little bit like a mannequin, but I digress. The game is highly addictive and a lot of fun, and I would certainly recommend it. Is it the best game in the Hitman series? No. That title still belongs to Blood Money, in my personal opinion. And I'm not just saying that for nostalgia reasons, I genuinely believe it and mean it. So, yeah, I mean, seriously, Hitman Blood Money had way more levels, just as much replay value, a better story, a more satisfying ending, and it came out. When did that game come out? What, like 15 years ago? So, yeah, I mean, that game is a timeless classic, But this game is solid. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. A great game with some minor issues and snags. On a side note, you do still have the various online modes from the previous two games, such as Contracts mode, which was actually first introduced in Absolution. Yeah, they still have the Contracts mode here, and it's just as good as ever. It's great here, and adds so many more hours of fun for online players, so that's good. I give Hitman 3 a solid 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Check out my other Hitman reviews in the description section if you want to, as well as my other game reviews. I've reviewed a lot of games on here, and I've got a lot of reviews coming in the near future. I keep saying that I'm going to review Fallout New Vegas. I should really get round to doing that soon. Yeah, because I've been saying I'm going to review that for months. I still haven't done it. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and God bless.